Hey everyone, Chris Haddon, Jason Balin, co-founders of hardmoneybankers.com, here with an awesome video. Today we are talking about the power of luck in business and in life.
This topic has really come up a lot recently. Listening to a bunch of podcasts, reading a good amount of books, and it seems like every single successful person always states that they feel like they're extremely lucky. We actually wrote a whole chapter in our book about this as well, related to being lucky. Check it out right now.
The idea of luck in business and in life it's a controversial topic because there's a couple different ways to look at it. One, people will see it as just dumb luck, like the flip of a coin or the Powerball at $1 billion, whatever it is. And then some other people will say that there's more factors involved in it. That they'll call it this thing called serendipity, that people can actually influence on their own if they're looking at the right stuff, thinking in the right way, operating in that way every day. But one thing that you can't argue with is that every time we're talking to a successful business person or seeing them on Shark Tank or reading their book or whatever, they all consider themselves lucky.
Yeah.
All of them.
and I think as an outsider looking in, you hear them say that and you may think to yourself, well, you're just saying yourself is lucky because you have a lot of money and then you're rich and you're successful.
They call themselves lucky after the fact.
Exactly. But that's not necessarily the truth. They had to get there from somewhere. And it was probably related to they gave themselves the right opportunities, to get themselves that way. They had the correct mindset. I mean, we all know, we talk about this, and as any successful person, it's all mind first. Make sure mentality first. Make sure you kind of have that in place so you know exactly where you're going. Because if you're a negative person, you're not going anywhere, and you're not going to have any luck, and it's just going to change. I mean, it's half. Is the glass? Is it half full or is it half empty? Which is a real easy way to compare it to it. And one of the things that all successful people have, besides saying they're lucky, they all feel like they've made the right decisions. They're all kind of going down this same path of fortune because they're doing the right things on a regular basis. And if they get hit or something happens negatively to them, they just pick themselves right back up. And they look at the positive. I've always felt there's a positive of everything.
It's a learning experience when something not so positive happens.
Yeah.
You learn something from that, and then you're better going forward.
That's right.
Whereas negative people are just like, bad shit happened to me constantly.
The world's over.
Right.
Let's
talk about that.
Okay.
Let's dive into that, because I think that's kind of the crux of the whole thing, and where people go one direction or the other in life. And then again, there's a lot of people in the middle too. So if you consider yourself a lucky person, when you get up in the morning and go about your day, you see opportunities. You see the chances for good things to happen. And on the opposite side, if you consider yourself an unlucky person, as you go about your day, you see nothing but problems. And I know people like that. And over the long term what they're able to do or make happen with that negative mindset versus the person who sees opportunities all day long. It's a really powerful thing, and I think that it's a difficult thing to control, but it's doable.
Exactly.
It's doable. And we're going to get into it in a second, like things that you could read, daily reminders, stuff like that, just having these conversations or being around people who think that they're luckier and more fortunate. Like, there are ways to hack the system, and that's what we're going to get into a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like you said, talking through it, and every successful person, it's not like they're lucky, like, hey, I won the lottery and this is why I'm rich. They created their own luck because they were positive and they did the right things, and they mentally felt like, I'm getting luckier and luckier every day, because they're telling themselves, I deserve good fortune. I deserve where I'm at. I deserve this. And they're just, I think it's also because lucky's kind of a funky word. It's like related to, you use the word luck and you think like, there's no reasoning behind it, related to like a coin toss. And that's really not the case. It's doing, the appropriate things all the time. And, somebody that says, hey, well, I had one positive I had one thing that was successful and 99 things that were unsuccessful, you'd still call yourself, well, that one thing was lucky. That's just the term that's used related to it, because that one thing could be like, I started, a successful company, and I had and the 99 companies before that I failed, or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of different ways to kind of, dictate, the terminology related to the word.
Right.
And in a second,
the whole thing's convoluted.
And in a second, I'm going to share this extremely good ebook that a guy named Dr. Richard Weissman wrote called The Luck Factor. And in this ebook, I think we probably read it for the first time a few years ago. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that you read the entire ebook, and it's only 10 minutes, 20 minutes long. 10 minutes long. It's only 20 pages, straight ebook. And you go through it, and you're like, I know all these things, but just the way that it's out there and bullet pointed of, example, lucky people consistently encounter chance opportunities. Lucky people make good decisions. Lucky people's dreams, ambitions, and goals have an uncanny knack of coming true. Lucky people have the ability to turn their bad luck into good fortune. Little things like that are just, engraved in your head over and over and over are extremely powerful.
Yeah, I mean, think about that, being able to operate that way every day, where as you go throughout your day, you see 15 different great opportunities. It's not hard to make good things happen when that's how you view the world, when that's how you see yourself and the people around you and the things you come across. And if something bad happens, there's a little stumble, something not so great happens, it's a learning experience.
Exactly.
It's a win-win. How can you not win with that?
Exactly.
That being the case?
And I think the difference between the successful and unsuccessful people are the ones who obviously can tell the difference, have a good gut feel about it. They can learn to be lucky. Right? And I mean, that kind of sounds crazy when you say, how can you learn to be lucky? Luck is just a coin toss. That's a good example of what most people think. And that's really just not the case.
Yeah, I would say that if you are looking to become a little luckier, which we all are, a couple things you can do. One, read that ebook, read The Luck Factor.
We'll post it on a comment below. I'll give you a link to it.
We'll post that for sure. I would take a couple of the points in that you like the most, either from what we had here or from the ebook, and make them little reminders, maybe post-its, maybe a sign. When we really come across a saying that we like, we make it into, you can see some of them right here, and there's more of them around the office. Things that we want to be in front of us all the time. We just did a Warren Buffett quote last week, because it's I want this in front of my face all the time.
Yeah.
I believe that you can hack the system if you do that with these lucky and fortunate and that type of thing, with to create that mindset and to perpetuate that going forward. Also, I would hang around with people who consider themselves lucky and fortunate. Because if you hang around with the negative folks, man, you're just going to hear it all day long. Woe is me, this happened bad to me,
just excuses
sucks,
everywhere.
President sucks, it's going to snow this weekend. It's all terrible, right? And if you hang out with that, that's what is going to happen to you too.
That's your straight sphere. You're just going to have negative condensations just looping and looping in your head over and over and over. Or if you hang out with successful people, and have constant reminders of, wow, the market absolutely crashed over the last few days, but I have income producing real estate that has been increasing over the last few days.
Sure.
And have note cards, and here's some note cards that actually came out of this ebook. I expect good fortune every moment of my life. Throw it right there. Keep it in your back pocket, just like your to-do list with your note card in your back pocket, and pull that out every morning. I expect good fortune every moment of my life. I deserve the good things coming my way. I'm getting luckier and luckier every day. First, you got to believe this.
I'm lucky to have X in my life. I'm sure there's something that you're at, right?
An X or X?
I'm lucky to have X. I'm lucky to have a lot of X.
So whatever works best for you, do that. But it's all about, start up here, understand each opportunity that kind of comes your way, and every time there is an opportunity that comes your way, maybe it's just for real estate investors, a real estate opportunity. It's how can I make the most out of this opportunity?
And there's opportunities everywhere. Anytime the stock market crashes or the real estate market crashes, it's when you buy. Huge opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And that applies to everything.
I bought some decent stock yesterday and it went lower, but so maybe I should buy some more now that it's lower. So, all right, cool. Well, again, everybody, we appreciate it. You can follow us on a lot of channels. Hashtag Hard Money Bankers, hashtag the REI 360 show. Check us out on our real estate investing podcast, Real Estate Investing. If you just type in the podcast on your phone, and on my iPhone on me, so I can't show you how to do it like I did on our last video. And also make sure you comment below, and I'll make sure to add a link to this Richard Weissman PDF called The Luck Factor, because for some reason it's hard to find online these days when you Google it, but I have it, so I'll link it.
Cool. Thanks for checking us out. See you next time.